I wanted me to remind you, she's doing the pledge, and her birthday is June 21st.
No, that's next meeting.
She told me, I'm just telling you.
I know, she's told everybody. She's called here and told us.
So what?
You Esther, you're gonna run the surprise, do it next week.
I'll approve it.
Okay, is everybody here? Can we start?
Dennis here?
No, Dennis isn't here.
This conference will now be recorded.
Is Dennis Troy here?
No one. Yes, I am. I'm Esther Baitler, and I am going to do the pledge. Will everybody please stand up?
Yeah, you gotta wait, Esther. We gotta wait for Dennis Troy to get here.
I know, he's having a PMS moment. I'll give you. Not yet.
We're gonna get him getting in early now, too. We start with Adam?
Hello?
Hold on, Esther. We're trying to get Dennis.
I know, he's forever late. Call agrees to that.
He's on Dennis Troy time.
Oh, he arrived. Here he comes. I see him.
He's forever late, 10 minutes late.
I think he's only 5:31.
There he is.
Please, you might want to put on speaker view for yours, for Facebook.
Do who's talking, you mean?
Yeah.
Good job, Rob Marino.
Thank you.
I trained you well.
Okay, we're gonna get started. So welcome everybody to the Orangetown Town Board meeting of June 2nd, 2020. We're gonna start with the town clerk doing a roll call.
Supervisor Teresa Kenny,
Here.
Present.
Councilman Tom Divany,
Here.
Councilman Paul Valentine,
Here.
Councilman Jerry Batari,
Here.
Councilman Dennis Troy.
Present.
Okay.
Okay, I as the Baylor will be doing the pledge.
Okay, Esther Bailey's gonna do the
Everybody
pledge.
please stand.
Hey, Esther.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can we please have a moment of silence for all the police officers that were shot in New York last night?
Okay, thank you, Esther. That was very nice.
I'm glad you approved that, Teresa. I trained you well.
Okay, so we're going to start with just a couple of announcements. I just want to follow up. We had talked some time ago about the merger of responsibilities between ACABOR and Historic Areas Board of Review. In light of the inability to kind of meet in person, we're just going to put that off for the time being indefinitely until we can meet again and do it proper justice. So we're not going to give it another date. It's postponed until further notice. I just wanted to give this is really the final update on the 5K funds. I just wanted to thank the Blowout Sons of Italy. They made a $500 donation. So they brought our total to $12,827 that we netted for the food banks, local food banks. So thank you to all of the participants and everybody who donated. And then I just wanted to kind of give you a quick start on our Kickstart Orangetown update. And I'm going to try and share the screen. Bear with me.
You can share it. That's fine. And then
Okay. So here we go. We have our brand new logo going on. And then we have, these are gonna be kind of things we're gonna put for the businesses to put up in their storefronts or their, businesses showing that they're open for business. And then I think that's really all we have so far. That's a lawn sign. They're gonna lawn signs. We're gonna try and get the word out that we're open for business. So that's what that is. There we go. So we actually just had our second meeting today. We have a very enthusiastic group of people that are very happy to be helping. We are working on our tentative kind of kickoff event for June 13th. We are trying to do, we're going to call it a parade, but it's a drive-by type of parade. We're working on the logistics. It just came up today, but we would kind of go down Central Avenue, go through Tappan, through Spark Hill, kind of just showcasing the businesses that are open. We're hoping by then we'll be in phase 2, and we'll have some more businesses, open. So hot off the presses, we just discussed that this morning, but you might want to put that in your calendar. So that's really it on the announcements, not too much tonight. So we can go into the workshop. Rob, quick question for you. Do we have to workshop the public hearing?
Yeah, we could talk about that when it comes up for the hearing.
Okay. So they kind of, the public hearing, just so you know, is really just basically giving us, changing our law to allow the next thing, which is part of the outdoor cafe, the outdoor dining, sidewalk cafe, part of this whole kickstart. So that's basically just adjusting the law so that we can then pass the resolution that's next on the agenda, which is number 6, which again is talking about the outdoor cafe. And when I get there, we have a couple people submitted comments and things that I'll read into the record. So we worked on it, Jane, Dennis Michaels, Rob, myself. We've been kind of working on this. It's just really needs a few fill in the blanks from the town board. And certainly they'll answer any questions you have, but that's, hopefully once the governor gives the nod for outdoor, dining and stuff. Okay, number 7, right? I'm on to 7 here. Is furloughing the town curator. Unfortunately, the museum has been closed since the state of emergency. So again, in trying to take some efforts to save what we can now, and as soon as we get word that the museum will be opening, we will certainly have the curator back. But while it's closed, there's really not a whole lot they can be doing. So we are doing a furlough, which should be effective as of next Friday, June 8th. Number 8 is the high school graduation funding, which we do every year. We've been in contact with the schools, although they may not be having a traditional project graduation. Some are opting to maybe do it later in the year. Some are opting to use the funds towards something else for the seniors, but they basically submitted something to finance showing what they're going to be doing with the funds. And these are the amounts that we give every year. So, we're continuing to do for the seniors. Number 9 is basically an energy contract with the town. Jeff can certainly speak to it if anybody has any questions, but I think we went out to bid on that, and that basically this was the best of the available deals that we got. Number 10 is some housekeeping. One of the things when I got into office, I realized that there was really no consistency among department heads and some of the appointed officials on what they were paying for health insurance, whether they were paying, what they were getting. So there had been a resolution done back in 2006 that had never been updated. Some of the titles have changed. And like I said, there was inconsistencies. So this basically brings a consistency among what the department heads or appointed individuals are paying. And then we adjusted the buyout provision, which is a provision that is in the contract with the CSEA, and it kind of was excessive by today's standards. So we're reducing people who opt not to get the insurance while they're being reimbursed for basically not taking the insurance. So that's what number 10 is. 11 is the school resource officers. The schools are both, right, Rob? This is both, right? Both schools? Or just one of South Orangetown? Looks like it's South Orangetown.
Sorry, just the one, South Orangetown, yeah.
Okay, so and this is for the next school year. They want to renew with us to do the school resource officer in the high school. I guess we'll have to find out about Pearl River. Is that
this coming year. Yeah, the town signed an agreement, I want to say 2 years ago, was it? Yeah, 2 schools years ago. To have a school resource officer in both schools, and every year we've been renewing the agreement. So this is just kind of a
Okay,
housekeeping thing.
okay, so we should be expecting to do one with Pearl River on this too?
Yes, I would assume, yeah.
Excuse me, Teresa.
Yes.
Yeah, the sound is not coming through on the TV.
Okay, we told,
Unmuted.
they're on it.
Thank you.
Thanks for letting us know. This never gets easier, this virtual stuff. Okay, number 12 is awarding a bid for a new light-duty truck, like a light-duty dump truck. And I guess, and this is all money that these items had been bonded for in anticipation of needing them. 13 is rejecting the bids for the North Middletown Road pedestrian project. Unfortunately, the bids that came in were way above what we were expecting. So after consultation with the board, Superintendent Jim Dean decided that we should reject the bids and go out to bid in the fall, and hopefully we'll get some more affordable options. Another, number 14 is another superintendent of highways for a rear steer loader. It's another thing that was bonded for. Number 15 is a little bit of a cleanup. We had the golf course contracts and they've kind of gotten off keel. So this basically is bringing us up to the end of this year on on the Broadacres. It's going to align with Blue Hill expiring, and we're going to go out to bid for the 2 of them at the same time, I guess towards the end of this year, middle of this year, whatever the case may be. Okay, we have 16 and 17 are appointing 2 police officers that had been nominated, and I guess they went through the, whatever they had to go through. They went through all the background check and everything like that, and they're ready to be appointed permanently. 18 is a promotion of Chris Tierney. This is the item that had come up once before. He's being promoted to a sergeant. 19, we have a retirement of Keith Brennan, who's been here a very long time. And then we have number 20 is appointing Justin Favor. She is a chemist. She's already, this has already been done. She was provisional, so it's not changing anything in the dollar amount. It's basically just going to permanent, because I guess she, whatever she took the test or whatever she had to do. 21 is accepting and filing documents in the town clerk's office. They kind of speak for themselves. 22 is the budget adjustments, which I know the town board has. Was this in the backup? Yeah. Okay, then we have the audit, and then we do have an executive session this evening. We have to discuss some pending litigation, and we're gonna have a discussion with the chief, so that's another exclusion for imperil safety if disclosed. So that is it on the workshop. Does any of the town board have any questions or anything at this time? No? Okay.
No.
Okay, so we can open, Rob, should we go into the public hearing first or go into the regular?
Sure, Cole, you want to do the public comment first? That's first.
Yeah,
on the list.
we'll do the public comment, I guess. Okay. So can I get a motion to go into the public comment?
Motion by Tom.
I make a
Divney,
motion, Paul
open-
Valentine.
If Tom Divney made the motion, Paul Valentine seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, so here we go. This is where it gets a little tricky. So this is not on the outside seating. This is just on the general. This is going to be a hearing. I guess they can speak about this too, because it's really a resolution item. So I guess you could do either one. So it's 3 minutes. You can state your name and, you know, just where you're from. So it's going to be just, you know, you just have to kind of bear with us because we don't have a way of identifying who wants to speak per se. So I'm just going to open it up. And if you want to say something, just kind of shout it out and we'll try to get you in order.
Did you unmute all?
Hi,
three?
Teresa.
Did I? I did not. Hold on. There you go. Did I? It's not working.
They have to unmute them.
No, but I think they have to unmute then.
Oh, okay.
If you want
Okay,
to
so I
speak.
did it. Okay, so yeah, you'd have to unmute yourself and then let us know that you want to say something.
Hi, Teresa.
Esther, do you want to speak?
Yes, I certainly do.
Okay, so we're gonna get put on to 3 minutes, so you can go when you're ready.
Number one, when we did the pledge, Teresa, I don't think you were aware that Jim Dean was sitting there. They should have mentioned his name so that he could have been a part of the pledge.
Esther, do you have something else on?
Esther, Esther, did you join a rap group?
No, I said I wanted to speak, Tom.
Yeah, but is there something, an echo coming through?
Does she have the TV on or something?
That's better.
No, that is clear. That's perfect. I trained you well, Rob. Teresa, 2 things. Jim Dean's name was never mentioned when I did the pledge, and I noticed that. His name should have come up. The other thing is, everybody and the governor is saying not to open restaurants outside dining until he gives the go-ahead. We're only in phase 1. I mean, we haven't gotten the green light on any of this, not even to open our great agencies. So for the restaurants to keep coming up, it's not fair. I've been home for 3.5 months, and I'm looking forward to going back to Five Guys. And Dennis and Paul will swear for me that I'm a great, dedicated worker at Five Guys in Nanuet.
Thank you, Esther. Do
So
we have
please don't leave Jim Dean out when we do the pledge.
I would never let Jim Dean
I
out.
trained him well.
Okay, do we have anybody else who would like to speak? I do have some.
Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you, Esther.
You were in a better mood tonight. I'm happy to see that. Bye.
Hi. Okay. I guess I can read some of the comments that we have.
Hi, Teresa, it's Barbara Delaney O'Halloran from Pearl River.
Oh,
My office is,
the comments.
oh, I'm in the comments. Okay, so you can read my comments, but I figured I'd come here live.
Go ahead, it's much nicer coming from you. I'll put these aside, you can say.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
So as you know, I own a business in Pearl River. I'm on Main Street and I'm watching the shops not open, the restaurants not open. And we are now able to go to Greenwich, Connecticut, which I've done twice for lunch, and able to shop. So there is absolutely no reason that we should be able to give our business to Greenwich, and we can't let the restaurant owners open up on the streets. You know, you can see what's happening in Manhattan. There's obviously no safe distancing there. So I see no hurt in doing it. And I would be in favor of opening it up for the restaurant owners and even the shop owners. What they've done in Greenwich is some of the shop owners have let their space be available for the restaurants, so it doesn't disrupt anything. And it was quite a lovely day in Greenwich. I'd like to do it in Fall River.
Thank you. Okay. Any chance Kathy O'Halloran's on here too? And I'll read her.
I asked her to, I know she sent in a comment.
I'll read her comment. She kept it short and sweet. Please open the sidewalks for outdoor dining. Kathy O'Halloran. Then we got a lengthy one, which has been sent to all the board, but from Anthony Shout, S-H-A-U-T. I'm writing to express my 100% support in opening sidewalks to our businesses. Being a Pearl River resident, some of my thoughts are specific to Pearl River, but I'm in support of this for all of Orangetown. With respect to Pearl River, to the extent that Central Avenue and small portions of Main Street off Central Avenue can be closed to pedestrian traffic only, and perhaps provide additional outdoor space to our businesses, I fully support that as well. These small businesses are the backbone of our town. Many of the owners live here, and most businesses have supported local causes for years. Between curbside pickup and significantly reduced capacity, it's likely that most of these businesses would be working harder than they've ever worked simply to stay afloat. Forget making decent living. Anything that we can do as a town to increase that capacity should be considered. Local social media pages seem to be fairly supportive of the idea, but there have been some concerns expressed. I think it's important for residents to understand that no solution is perfect, and we all need to be a little understanding of the circumstances that we are faced with. If it means having to sit in a little traffic on surrounding streets or take an alternate route for the summer, Residents should understand that is a significantly better option than businesses having to close their doors, which would decimate our downtown area. Some are concerned about not being able to do curbside pickup with sidewalk streets blocked off, but I'm sure businesses can run food to the nearest corner open to the vehicle traffic. Please stress to the naysayers that while this solution may be imperfect, it is a heck of a lot better than the alternative. Lastly, I realize that opening sidewalks, parking lots for outdoor business may not be as easy for the businesses on Middletown Road and share shopping plazas on a busier street that can't be blocked off. I can't say I have any great suggestions for how to address that. However, if that is a problem without a solution for the time being, I would not hold up the opening of Central Avenue Main Street while you're working through that problem. Let me be a second phase of sidewalk opening and move forward with the first phase ASAP. Thank you for your time that you've undoubtedly spent trying to figure out how to best kickstart Orangetown. That's that comment. And then I have one from Matthew Wargle, to whom may concern regarding the outdoor dining during COVID. As discussed, here is the plan that would need to be executed in order for the town to be able to open up under the current circumstances and the information that backs it up. Close down streets, suspend open container laws. The town has the ability to do so. The conversation that I had with the state liquor authority is that if the town is fine with it, the state is fine with it. Some links, a bunch of links. And then 3 and 4 social distancing guidelines. Not sure what else you need on the silver platter. Time is ticking and people have. There are the facts purely taken from the SLA site and a phone call with the SLA legislative division. Let me know anything else you need. That's all the written comments. Does anybody else want to speak?
Hi, Teresa. It's Eileen. How are you tonight?
Hi, Eileen. Good, thanks.
Yeah, I wanted to compliment the highway department. I went today. I needed bags for my parkland setting that I have over here. And I love the way they have it set up outside the office. They have all the bags under a tent, and they have an opportunity for you to pick up the, if you need a replacement for your recycling containers. You pull in, you take your bag and you or a container and you leave. And I thought that's a great way to do it. It was set up so orderly and in and out. So compliments to the highway department for the way they are doing that.
Thanks, Eileen. We might have forgot Jim during the pledge, but he got his due acknowledgement right now. So there you go.
I did. I gave it to him, right? All right. Teresa, stay well.
Thank you, Eileen. You too.
You too. Bye-bye.
Do I have anybody else that would like to speak? You have to unmute yourself if you like to. Okay. Going
I make a
once?
motion, we close the public portion.
Second by Tom Divney.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Teresa, I think
Yeah.
some people were talking about the sidewalks and what have you. I think we got to let everyone in town know what we can and what we can't do. I mean, I don't think people realize we can't open the sidewalks and properties up for dining until we're in phase 3. That's correct?
Yeah, that is clearly,
Two.
whatever, it's clearly stated in there that none of this kicks in until the governor says we can do it. So.
No, I think a lot of people think we passed this today.
Hi,
We're
darling.
having
How are you?
dining tomorrow, which is just not the case.
And no, we, they're gonna have to apply for to James, the building department. They are gonna have to provide some documentation. We'll certainly make it clear then that they, unfortunately, they can't do it until the governor says they can do it. Or
And I guess the other
in
thing is
phase 3, so we're definitely
we're
time
getting
a little bit away.
phase 2. And then I guess the other thing is that it's for sidewalk and dining in the back of your properties. It's not to close down the streets in Pearl
No,
River.
not yet.
I mean, I could see that happening. We could have certain nights we could close them down, but people have to realize that, certain businesses need traffic to be able to come to their business, besides the restaurants. We want to do everything to help them, but we can't just shut the
Yeah.
streets down.
Yeah, so part of the committees looked at that and they're trying to figure out what's the best, whether we, like, again, I was thinking more along the line of special events. So you could do a couple of special events, maybe like a Pearl River Day, I don't know how often, because it's all gonna involve how much it's gonna cost with, overtime and closing down roads and diverting things. So we're looking into that, but this is the first start to let them get out on the sidewalks
no,
or,
no.
Whatever.
I
Case may
guess-
be. But I think what's important for the businesses to know, to the extent anyone's watching, is that, the process is simplified, much more simplified, but there still is a process. So the business owner should reach out to the building department and see what they need to get. They'll help them, because they do want some kind of, sketch or site plan or whatever you want to call it. They will give whatever they have in the file to help them drip, they don't need to go get a surveyor or anybody, but we're trying to get them to, we do need to know exactly where things are, have the fire inspector look at it. So there is a bit of a process. So they should really start sooner rather, so that when we do get to the point where the governor says we can do it, people are ready. They're not then, jump in to try and call the building department and get it. So they can get the process going. And hopefully then they're ready to go as soon as, we get the word. So, okay, I guess we have to now go into the public hearing. Again, the public hearing is really on the legal technicality that allows us to pass this, resolution. So I guess we have to.
Teresa, it's Matt Wargle. Do you mind if I chime in real quick?
Sure. I don't know.
All
You
right,
want to speak? Scott, do you want to speak during the public? Do you want it on the public hearing? Because we haven't really opened it yet. You want to wait 5 minutes, or you want to talk in the public?
That's fine.
Okay.
I apologize.
Okay, so we're going to make, we need a motion to open the public hearing.
Motion to open the public hearing. Tom Divney.
Did you make the motion? Who seconded? Jerry?
No, I did.
Dennis
Oh,
Troy.
Dennis Troy seconded.
Yeah.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
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 Okay, so now we have, okay, Matt, now you have 5 minutes. So.
I don't need 5 minutes. I only need a couple, or maybe like 8 minutes.
Let me hang up?
So,
No,
You,
press the button. You don't want to hear it?
Esther, you have to mute your phone or your.
yeah, I'm here.
Teresa, we can't even hear you.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, the TV's still not working.
Matt, why don't you talk?
You guys? All right, so I did a lot of research on this, and I was looking at all the guidance, looking at the executive orders and everything like that, and there are certain stipulations in, I think it's 202.8 executive order, saying, they will not grant certain businesses essential, and with that, there's an exception on there that says, very specifically, the second bullet point down, it's at the bottom of Executive Order 2028 in regards to the public comment that was submitted earlier, that states, bars, restaurants are not allowed to have on-premise consumption, dining, whatever it is. So you can't do anything on-premise. That's correct. But the exception to that is that except for delivery or takeout. So if you do delivery or takeout, you're allowed to do that, and you're considered as part of an essential business. So that's kind of what everybody knows right now, what everybody's used to. Now, it is actually up to the discretion of the town if or whether or not they want to shut down these streets. The streets would technically be off-premise from any licensed premises that is already located in town. So if you are off-premise, technically, the restaurants could have, or the town could have tables out there. Whomever wants to, have the liability, or whoever wants to, maybe put somebody else as, a signer, or I can't remember the name for it, but name somebody else on the certificate of liability, where it could be shared between the business and the town. And you can actually put tables out there, and technically people, if they have online ordering systems, or they could call into the restaurant or bar, they could technically, have delivery to those tables or takeout to those tables that are in the street that could be shut down, which is considered off premise. And only other piece that would need to happen is that the town would just need to suspend their open container law. Now, when I spoke with the legislative department with the state, they specifically stated that and it says it in the law that if the town allows it, they are fine with it. They have no qualms with it. So everything's there. We're allowed to do it. We just need to be able to just shut down the street. Maybe not all the time, but maybe some parts of the time or some parts of the week. Typically, that we can shut it down to let people at least ease in to get going. And it doesn't necessarily just need to be bars and restaurants. It could be any business that is downtown already. limits, it's in his executive order, and everything. And I read it by the guy at the State Liquor Authority. He's like, that's exactly what other towns in New York are doing. Whether they're in these regions or not, or in their phase or not, is specifically stated they're allowed to do it, basically. And so basically, you just need to suspend the open container law, and that's up to the town. You need to shut down the streets whenever you would want to, and that's basically it. So, and I'm good, so I can wrap up my time. I'm done.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, anybody else want to speak on the public hearing?
You want me to comment on it briefly, so we know what we're doing?
Yeah, if you might as well.
Yeah, just real quick, there's a section of the code that already exists that outlines the what the director of Ops Bay is permitted to do. We're adding basically a section, or we're asking the town board to add a section that during a state of emergency or during the economic recovery from a state of emergency, the director of Ops Bay, with the authority of the town board, can waive certain provisions of town code, similar to what has been mentioned earlier, what the caller mentioned, some of those items. So I know that the current authorization that we're talking about, we'll get into, I guess, when we start talking about that. But this particular local law, enables the town board, in our opinion, to do this, to make the changes that are necessary. Again, setting whatever limitations or conditions the board wants to set. And now it's going to be in the local law, so we can do it going further by resolution as opposed to a local law every time. But that's basically what we're doing.
Okay. Last call on public comment.
Teresa?
Yeah.
Amory Ewell.
Hi,
Just for good, thank you, Harry. Just
Hey,
for
Ray.
hi, Esther. Just for a frame of reference, do you know if the other towns are passing similar resolutions as well for this purpose?
I know Clarkstown already did it. I know Nyack, we've been in touch with the mayor of Nyack. They're going to be shutting down the road, I think, even more regularly. But yes, I know Stony Point, he said he doesn't really have too much, of a downtown business type area, whatever. But yeah, Clarkstown already did it.
Okay, and obviously they've met with success with it?
Well, nobody can really use it yet because we're not at the point where the governor has allowed us to use it. So we're basically getting it lined up so the businesses can get their paperwork in order. So when because we're probably still another couple of weeks away from when the restaurants can open, unfortunately. So we're getting it passed so that they're ready to go when we get the word. So, we just want to get the word out to the residents because it is a little bit of paperwork that they still have to do, even though we're streamlining it. So we want them to have it all lined up and ready to go as soon as the word comes in. So we're trying to get the word out to everybody.
Will there be a cap on how many people can gather, do you believe? Is that in the law?
Yes, there are limitations on the numbers. There's like a percentage, so they're allowed, it's a certain percentage of how many seats they're allowed. I mean, I think the governor's orders are gonna have their own, only so many people at a table, only whatever. They're gonna have their own, and all of this, they have to comply with the governor's orders. But this is really just letting them take some tables. So if they're only allowed 50% of their business, they could take some of it outside. It helps them get more, more, yeah. So yeah, but we're not superseding anything that the governor's doing.
Okay, I'm completely in favor of this. I think it's very important, especially for all the businesses in Orangetown. I think it's something that's necessary so that we can help support them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, any other people to speak on the public hearing? Okay, can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
Teresa, can I chime in one last time real quick?
Real quick, because you're on your second time.
Yeah, I know. Is it that we're waiting for phase 3, or is it
Yes.
you know, or are we trying to see if we can speed it up a little faster by still falling within the governor's guidelines?
Well, I mean, you're gonna have to apply for a permit, and we're not gonna be, I mean, again, it's gonna be, we don't have the authority to override what the governor says, so, you know,
Right.
if you're gonna try and do something that the governor's order doesn't permit, you're risking somebody files a complaint in the Department of Health or somebody shows up.
Oh, of course,
But,
of course.
you know,
But is
I
there
mean,
any way
well, I will be
possibly
honest with
maybe-
you, all of us, all the town supervisors, we speak regularly, every one of us would like to see it happen faster. You know, we convey that to our representatives that we talk to at the state.
I went to the governor.
I guess my question maybe was kind of guided towards trying to just maybe see if there could be a review of the information I sent to you guys. You can see whether or not they can work or not. Because that would
wait for the green light.
That would speed up the process even faster.
Okay, I will have to take this offline. We'll work with the town attorney on these issues. I don't know that
That's
now,
fine.
I mean,
That's fine.
okay, I think that's probably best.
Thank you.
Okay, so last call. Okay, motion to close the public hearing?
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Jerry, yes.
Valentine, and that was Jerry Batari. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, so number 5 is adopting the local law. Again, it's really section F if you have it in front of you. It's the section that allows us to do this. So do I get a motion to adopt the local law?
I'll make a motion to adopt the local law, but I would say one other thing, that through the past several weeks, I've listened to the head dictator in the state of New York talk about a regional approach with Connecticut and New Jersey to do various laws, and would do it in a regional way. And Barbara Delaney earlier speaking about going over to Greenwich and eating at an outdoor restaurant there. I think they lost their way, the regional. And me, I'd like to see this happen as soon as possible. And if the governor looks at what's going on, particularly in New York City and across the country, I think it's time to start opening up phase 2, phase 3.
Okay, so Dennis moved. Do I have a second?
Jerry? I'll second it.
Okay, I think Jerry Batari beat you, so Jerry was a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, now the next is the resolution. We have to fill in some blanks, gentlemen. You don't get, we have a couple blanks here. So this again is we worked on it. We worked through most of the issues with Jane and with Rob and myself. So the couple of open questions are, when do we want this to basically go through? There was a date, I guess currently our outdoor dining goes through October 1st or October 31st or something. Now it's a resolution. We could always change it if we get some, really warm November or whatever. So we can put whatever date we think appropriate when this is basically going to automatically terminate. That's one question. And then the other one is the fee. I know there's been a couple emails and I didn't see any really necessarily consensus right now. If they were to go apply for a fee under normal circumstances, it's roughly $700. It's crazy, but so again, we talked about a nominal fee. They will have to have, the building department will have to do some, fire inspector will have to maybe go and do an on-site. So those are the two things I need: a date.
I say
I
date
can-
through this December
Teresa?
31st.
What'd you
Because
say,
we'll
December what?
amend it. December 31st, and if we want, we can always amend it.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Teresa?
Yeah.
Teresa, I think that we should make the date December 31st, which is fine, or until the governor allows restaurants to be fully open, whichever comes first.
Great minds think alike. That's what I said. I got shot down by my
And
counterpart.
I also feel that there should not be a fee. These restaurants have suffered enough. I think there should be no fee for this.
I got no
Okay,
problem with that.
Teresa, yeah, and can we just be clear that the fee is $100 each year? By waiving the applicable requirement, that initial cost is now no longer existent. So the normal one would be 100. So everybody
Renew.
understands. Yep,
They would have the original one, they'd have to pay $100 to renew it, right?
correct, yes.
I'm
And
still,
just
I'm
if I
okay
can
with
chime in.
$0, like Paul said.
If I could just chime in, we're talking about two things here. One is sidewalk, vending and dining, which is already permitted, and we already have a permit for that. That's the one that has a $100 fee. What this resolution is going to do is also establish a temporary outdoor dining permit, which is a separate issue. I'm actually calling them 3 issues. The one is sidewalk, dining and vending, which is permitted now. The second is the temporary outdoor dining permit, which would allow restaurants to utilize parking areas for seating, which Teresa mentioned earlier, such as, you know, if the requirement is 50%, you can only have 50% occupancy. You know, let's say you have 100-person occupancy, so you can only have 50 indoors. You could have people outdoors. I'm not saying it would be 50. It would be however many, you know, could safely be fit based on the plan that is presented to Jane. So that's the second one. So if you don't want a fee for either one of those, that's fine. We'll just add it to the resolution. And the first part of the resolution is sidewalk dining and sidewalk vending. So we could take the fee out of that. And in terms of temporary, yeah, I think it makes sense, because in the unlikely event, in the unlikely event that there's 100% occupancy before the end of the year permitted, you know, you do want, you want to have some flexibility, and you know, in terms of being able to end it, if by some miracle there is 100% occupancy allowed prior to the end of the year. So that might be a good term to end. The other issue, and I know we discussed it, was again what that caller had brought up about closing the streets. You know, on Pearl River Day, we did once before suspend the open container law. We can do that. We certainly should do that at least as part of this. Again, if somebody's going to use their parking lot for dining, you know, the open container law wouldn't apply, and we can add that in. In terms of the streets, again, at some point.
Real quick, I did speak with George Homan about it today. He said that he spoke with somebody up there, and that he thinks they're going to be relaxing some standards very soon, that we're going to hear from the liquor, you know, because everybody's doing this.
Right. Well, and that's one of the concerns that Tom had mentioned. I mean, you know, the town only has so much control. The town is, you know, I guess by this, the law and the resolution, you know, doing what it can to help move this along. You know, whatever other regulations there are, you know, SLA or health department, et cetera. So folks will have to deal with that. But, you know, the town's doing what it can with respect to this. So, you know, with those changes, you know, it's up to, you know, it sounds like it makes sense to make it as Paul and you had suggested, you know, if you want to make it December 31st or when 100% occupancy, whichever is sooner.
Rob,
Okay,
yeah,
ahead, Jerry.
question, the open container law, will we talk about suspending that so that people would be able to walk about with open containers, or are we talking about table service?
No,
With
I'm only
dinner?
talking about if you have a permit. If you have one of these permits, you know, let's say, you know, I'm trying to pick a place, you know, Louis, for instance, in Pearl River has its own parking lot. If we allow, you know, technically the open container law applies to that parking lot. We're saying if Louis gets an outdoor permit, you know, they can serve alcoholic beverages out there.
Okay, so it's not carrying it around. It's within the permit, within the roped-in area. Right. Okay.
It's basically just expanding what is considered on premises for the restaurant, like your sidewalk and your back lot. Now you can have drinks and food served there if you can show a plan that shows you're socially distancing and you meet the requirements of the building department.
Right.
Yeah, I'm in favor of that.
Geez, I also received a call from the health department this morning because a number of businesses from Orangetown were calling the health department to find out what they have to do. So people are starting to do their homework, and yes, they will have to comply, as Rob said, with the health department requirements the governor's requirements as well as whatever the liquor authority regulations are.
Yep, and I think we added that, so. Okay, so Rob, do you have, so I think the last, we were good at it, did we have 3 for no fee?
I'm good, Tom Divney.
I'm good with no fee, Paul Valentine.
Tom and Paul are good.
I'm good as well.
Okay, so we have Rob, so we can,
So what I would add then to that first section is a number 4, the fee for sidewalk, cafe, or vending shall be waived,
this year.
is hereby waived until December 31, 2020. And then the second part, about the number 10, any temporary dining permit issued pursuant to this resolution shall expire on 12/31/20. I was going to say, or 7 days after 100% capacity is authorized by the state of New York, whichever occurs sooner. And then
I'm good with that.
Yeah, and then I was going to add a 15, the drinking of an alcoholic beverage by a member of the public while a patron at an establishment with a temporary outdoor dining permit shall not be construed as a violation of Chapter 10 of the Town Code regarding open containers.
Right, as long as it's in the permitted area for their outdoor dining.
Right, it says while a patron at an establishment with a temporary outdoor dining permit. And I'm sorry.
Yeah, just so you do know, it says that whatever sketch they get, whatever they approve, the town approves, it has to be displayed there. So that if it's a Friday night or whatever, and the building department's not around, and they get a call, the fire inspector or the police department knows exactly what's supposed to be there. So we're trying to keep some control of it, that it's not a free-for-all.
Right, and I'm sorry, in 14, we'll change to there shall be no fee for a temporary outdoor dining permit.
Jane is twitching. No fee? What is that about? What do you mean
No,
no
I'm
fee?
okay because you put a limit on it. We just don't want, remember in Piermont, they came back the following year and kept asking. So this is a good, this is a good kickstart.
Yes, good. It's a good kickstart. Okay. Okay, so with all of those changes noted,
So I make a motion, we pass the resolution with the changes as noted.
that's Paul Valentine made a motion. I'm gonna second it. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Number 7, furloughing the town curator. Again, just basically, it's hopefully a temporary measure. I don't know with the museum. We think it's the last phase is what we heard. So, they basically did have a exhibit they wanted to work on, but it's not open. And so, hopefully it's temporary. But anyway, can I get a motion for number 7 to furlough the town curator?
There's so much.
Dennis Troy moved. I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Number 8, approve 2020 high school project graduation funding. These amounts again are the same that we've done in the past. And again, Jeff did ask them to resubmit a written request what it would be used for. And I think you all got it or whatever's all shared with you. So can I get a motion to approve the 2020 high school project graduation funding?
I make a motion.
Tom Divney.
Okay, so we had Paul Valentine moved it, Tom Divney seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, awarding the contract to Sprague Energy. Can I get a motion to approve the agreement with Sprague Energy? I think Jeff had sent an email about this.
Jerry, yes.
Okay, so Jerry moved it. Jerry
I'll
Vitale.
second it.
Dennis Troy second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Who
the health-
seconded? Sorry, Teresa. Who seconded?
Wait, I think I wrote it down who it was. It was
Jerry.
Dennis Troy. Dennis Troy seconded it.
Thank you.
Okay, again, this is basically trying to just get some consistency among the department heads on who's paying what. So, I'm fine to make the motion to basically update the health insurance contribution in the exclusion list or Schedule A contribution. So I'll make a motion. Do I have a second?
Second, Tom Divney.
Tom Divney, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Number 11, approving the renewal of the school resource officer at Tappan Zee School District or South Orangetown School District. Can I get a motion?
Yep, Jerry Vitari.
Jerry Vitari moved it. Paul Valentine seconded it. All in favor? Aye.
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 At any point we need a roll call or anything, just let me know. Okay, number 12, award the bid for the new light duty truck, dump trunk for $79,000. Can I get a motion?
Move, Tom Divney.
Tom Divney moved it. I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Teresa, I have a question. Is this in the already bonded money? Or is
Yes.
it in a new bond?
Oh, I'm looking at Jeff. I know it was bonded. I don't know if it's the new one or the old one.
Yeah, I believe this is a new one, but it's definitely bonded money. So it was either from the 2-year-old one or it's from this one, but I believe it was this one, but I would have to go double check.
Would Jim know?
Jim might know.
Yes, it's from this present bond.
Okay. Does that go to the next one too? Same?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Was that bond out for and already approved by the town board?
Yes. We discussed it in December. It was voted on then. And it's gone through the process.
Jeff, was the bond issued?
Yeah, I sent you an email about 2 weeks ago that the bond was issued. And we got an excellent rate of, as I mentioned in the email, we got better than New York City, which is AAA rated. So, and we were very fortunate in the timing we did. So it was an average of 1.89% over a 18-year term. And obviously, given what's going on now, we were very lucky we got that deal done. But yes, the bond has been issued and we have received the funds for it.
We voted on that, right? Rosanna, we voted on that?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Number 13 is to reject the bids for the North Middletown Road Pedestrian Link Project. Can I get a motion?
Yeah, I'll reluctant
Jerry Vitari.
vote for that.
So I think it was Jerry Batari moved it and Dennis Troy seconded it. And all in favor?
Aye, but
Aye.
we've been waiting for this project
Aye.
quite a while, and it's unfortunate that the bid's so high. So I support what Jimmy is doing here with Jimmy Dean in rejecting the bids, but it is disappointing.
I know, I'm with you on this one. This is like something that needs to be done yesterday, but it wasn't just like a little, it was like way over the, way over. So I think this is the best approach too. So anyway. Okay, number 14, award the contract for the one rear steer loader to Peterson Industries. Can I get a motion? I'll move it. Can I get a second?
Second.
Jerry.
Jerry Batari, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Okay, it's approved. Okay, 15 is basically extension with Broad Acres Golf Course, again, to bring it to the end of this year, and then we'll be going out to bid. So can I get a motion?
I make a motion.
Okay, Paul Valentine.
I'll second it.
So Tom beat you to it, Dennis. Tom Divney seconded it.
Okay.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Okay. Number 16, appoint Kevin Cully to the position of police officer, probationary permanent. I'll make a motion for that. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Yep. Jerry Vitale.
Second, he beat you to it. Paul Valentine seconded it. I'll let you do the next one. All in favor?
That's fine.
Aye.
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 Okay. Appoint Eamon Noonan, police officer, probationary permanent.
I'll move that.
Okay. Dennis Troy. Go ahead, Jerry. I saved it for you. Jerry Vitari seconded it. Okay.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, number 18, promote Christopher Tierney to the police sergeant, effective June 3rd, 2020.
Yeah,
Need a
I'll
motion?
make that.
I'll move it.
Again, I spoke about
Dennis?
this. ago.
Dennis Troy moved it. Did I get a second?
Yes.
I think Jerry did.
Jerry Vitari seconded. Okay.
The fact is, he's being made a sergeant because of the supervisory position he's in the narcotics task force that, for the county, that he's been up there for 12 years doing a terrific job for the county and for Orangetown. So I think this is a good promotion.
Do I need a roll call? Are we good?
I'm voting against it.
Okay, so we need a roll call.
Suzanne, you need to unmute.
Just doing a roll call by yourself.
All right. Supervisor Teresa Canning.
So I'm gonna vote yes. I just want to preface it with, this had been subject of some other discussion earlier in the year. I don't necessarily like the procedure that was followed, but I've heard very good things about, Chris Tierney. I've heard he's really pulling his weight up there. He's doing supervisory work. So I'm going to vote yes.
Councilman Tom Divany.
Oh, yes.
Councilman Paul Valentine.
I'm voting no. Nothing to do with Mr. Tierney. I think he's doing a great job also, but I don't approve of the procedure and the way this was done, so I'm voting no.
Councilman Jerry Vitari.
Yes.
Councilman Dennis Troy.
Yes.
Okay. Number 19, where it's the retirement of Keith Brennan. I think most of you probably know Keith. He unfortunately suffered a work related injury. And at this point, it doesn't look like he'll be able to return back to do his job full duty. So anyway, I will make a motion to accept his retirement. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Jerry Vitari. Well,
Dennis Troy beat you.
Dennis went.
Dennis Troy. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, appointing Justine Favor to chemist permanent. Again, this is at no change in salary. Basically, she's going permanent. I will make a motion. Do I have a second?
Second, Tom Divany.
Favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, 21, accepting receiving some documents in the town clerk's office. I would just basically quickly, the board minutes from April 21st, May 5th, May 19th. Agreement with the Rockland County Drug Task Force, a debt statement for 2020 bonding, Pearl River Fire District financial statements, Adopt a Spot, Advanced Landscape Solutions, and agreement with Sunrise Medical Laboratories. Do I get a motion? Oh, I think, okay. Jerry Vitari made a motion. Jerry Vitari made a motion, and Tom Divany seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay,
Aye.
final budget adjustments. Jeff, do you need to speak about this at all, or?
Well, these are the obviously what the auditors do for us every year, so that we balance out the line numbers. So there's hundreds of separate adjustments. This is a summary there of those adjustments. What I would say is you'll see that there is additional fund balance usage in the general fund of $328,000. That really is due to the community center that wasn't budgeted for, so the cost of paying for that. In the town outside village, there's $541,000 additional fund balance usage. That was because of the lawsuit that went against us for $575K, and also roughly 75K in outside counsel fees for that. So those are the two big things. Other than that, everything else is more or less in line. But as I've been mentioning earlier, where we've budgeted for fund balance usage in the past and not used it this year, we're using it, and because of some of these extraordinary items, we're actually using even more than we budgeted. So that's going to be a very challenging budget year this year coming up because of that. So
Yeah,
we
but
don't have a lot of room.
You're not going to be putting in. You're going to be putting in for FEMA though for some of this money. Some of it's going to be reimbursed, right?
I am going to put in for FEMA, but they're very restricted in what they're allowing us to claim. Basically, only anything that's directly COVID related. In other words, when we pay outside contractors to come clean, that'll count. If we have only overtime for measures that we are taking for COVID-19, and that's it. So we're not going to get a big FEMA reimbursement.
Okay, any questions on that? No, okay, so, I'm gonna have Dennis Troy move it, and Tom Divity second it, that works. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Yeah, Rob told me I should just assign people who are moving and second it to move it along. So, okay, I guess Jeff, you're up again on the vouchers.
Sure. The audit for tonight's meeting consists of 3 warrants for a total of $625,000. The first warrant had 30 vouchers for $115,000 and was for utilities. The second warrant had 1 voucher for $1,600 and was for a Pearl River Senior Club expense. The third warrant had 145 vouchers for $508,000. Items of interest, number 1 and 2, the applied golf contracts. Number 4, CSEA employee benefits, $31,000 for dental insurance. Number 7, Hewitt Excavating, $37,000 for the River Road sewer repair. That's bonded money. Number 9, Moody's Investor Service, $23,000 to get the bond rating. Number 12, Seal Coat USA, $47,000 for highway crack seal. And number 13, Sherwin-Williams, $22,000 for traffic road paint. Any questions on the audit?
Nope.
Okay, so we need a motion to close the audit. That's gonna be Jerry Batari. And the second's Paul Valentine. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, so we do have an executive session to go into. We are going to be, I'm looking at the adjournments. It's nice after so many weeks of so many adjournments. We are not going to be voting on anything. So when we come out, so I'm just going to we'll just do the adjournments real quick. Bruce Atchison, who is the father of town employees, Michael Atchison of the building department, and James Atchison of the Orangetown Police Department. He's a sergeant, isn't he?
He's a lieutenant.
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant, see, okay, so we'll make sure we get that right there. Robert Lehan of the Association Number 1 Rescue Pearl River. Barbara Paccioni is a sister-in-law of town employee Donna Morrison, and Margaret Sheehan. Anybody else have any other names to add?
No.
Okay. I just wanted, before we go, I want to say that I know there was a problem with the sound early on. We were told that it's going to replay tomorrow on the TV at 2 o'clock and at 7:30 p.m. So if anybody missed it and wants to watch it from the beginning, they missed it, they can watch it tomorrow at 2 o'clock or 7:30 p.m. So, okay, so now
and
we.
I'd just like to express my thoughts on Pete Marr is a sergeant who works for the town of Orangetown. His cousin Billy was a police officer that was run into by a vehicle last night in the Bronx in the 4-4 and had to go into surgery. And I wish Pete and his family and the whole Marr family my condolences, and I hope Billy has speedy recovery. And I hope de Blasio and Cuomo get some balls and start policing the state the way they should. That's about it.
I agree 100% with what Tom said. a disgrace what's going on in New York City right now. And the mayor and the governor need to back up NYPD and give them the ability to control what's going on down there. It's absolutely insane.
I'm
By the
sorry,
way,
Tom, did you say it was his brother?
His cousin.
Or
cousin,
his cousin?
I
Okay, well-
absolutely agree with everything that's said. It's enough is enough. And these aren't protesters. These are criminals. And it's about time that the governor and mayor took a firm stance on this. And if they need help, they should be calling in the National Guard.
Okay,
I agree as well.
All right.
okay. Wow, you guys all agree on something. Okay, so
We didn't
We're
hear you yet.
we're going to, I guess we're going to vote to go into executive session to, I guess, accept the adjournments, and we're not going to be coming out. So, can I get a motion?
so
Whatever that was. Dennis Troy. Second. Paul
I'll second
Valentine.
it.
Oh, I actually, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. You guys have the other call-in number?
it's in the same email.
This
Yes.
conference is no longer being recorded.
It's in an
The same
older
email.
email, Dennis.